Big news out of Norman today, where Blake Griffin has announced he's coming back to the Sooners for his sophomore year. I'm Mike Sherman, Sports City of the Oklahoman, and with me to talk about this big news is Barry Trammell. Barry, what do you make of this?
Well, I think it's very good news for Oklahoma basketball, very good news for Jeff Capel's career, very good news for the Griffin family, since Taylor and Blake will get to play together one more year. Good news for the International Order of Brotherhood. Left to be determined is how good it will be for Blake Griffin's career. Most successful NBA players these days spend no more than 1 year in college, so we'll see if Blake Griffin's gamble pays off.
Barry, Blake said that the big reason why he was coming back, he said he's not ready for the NBA. Do you buy that?
Well, maybe, but you don't get ready for the NBA. If you're not ready for the NBA, you don't get there by staying in college. What Blake means, I think, is he needs to learn to shoot a 17-footer. It's a lot easier to learn to shoot 17-footers when you don't have to go to a history class. So I think Blake Griffin's game would improve much more if he was on an NBA roster. But he also mentioned playing with his brother. I think that's very important. He also mentioned the injuries. He hurt both knees at various times this last season. So, maybe he's looking for just a one last fun-filled year, injury-free with his brother. Oklahoma can be very good next year with Willie Warren coming in. So, I think it could pay off for Blake Griffin in terms of a lifetime full of memory. I don't know how it will help his career.
What about risk? What has he risked by coming back?
Well, catastrophic injury, I would say. Guy that goes down twice in a year with knee situations. That's always a fear, I would say. Financially, it's not a big deal either way. NBA rookies don't make that much. What Blake Griffin really is forfeiting is the 1 year salary, whatever he would make, $800,000, $700,000, $1 million, whatever it might be, depending on where he was drafted. That's what he's given up. In the grand scheme of things, for a guy that's going to play quite a few years in the NBA, that's not a lot of money.
Are the big winners in this the basketball fans in the state of Oklahoma? The Big 12 tournament comes back to Oklahoma City next year with Blake Griffin, with Willie Warren, part of the Sooners. What's your take on that?
Well, OU basketball is the big winner. Sooners should have a very good season. They made the second round of the NCAA this year without Willie Warren. The Griffin brothers will be back. I think there's reason for a lot of optimism on Sooner basketball next year. The big winner also is Jeff Capel. I don't know if you saw the line from John Calipari at the Final Four when they asked him about Derrick Rose's future. And they said, well, should Derrick Rose go to the NBA? And he said, well, John Calipari said, well, if Derrick does what's best for him and his family, he'll go to the NBA. If he does what's best for me and my family, he'll come back to Memphis. Well, Jeff Capel's coaching stock just goes up again because he's going to have another very good year next season. So Capel will be a very, very fast-rising star in the coaching ranks if the Sooners reel off another great year.
This does not happen often. Not since Tim Duncan went back to Wake Forest, has a sure top 10 pick, and that looks like what Blake Griffin was going to be, decided to go back to college. To read more about this decision, all the angles about Blake Griffin's decision to go back to OU for a sophomore year, go to newsok.com or tomorrow's Oklahoman.